Hello everybody. I know we're all stuck at home with quarantine and it's a tough moment for everybody. So I thought now would be a good time to offer a training program that I sometimes use for long distance students, using a lot of the same exercises that I use preparing for Minsk. It's a lot of blade work exercises and some fitness that you can do at home without any equipment or really any space at all. First off, I like to start a training session with some tabata as a warm-up. Usually I would do circuit sprints, but since the idea of this exercise is you don't have any space, we're going to improvise. Okay, so we're going to use this as an opportunity to improve our foot speed and also our lateral movement. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So just to do it a little bit faster. Also, as a side note, I'll put a link to a free Tabata app that you can use. Now that we're warmed up, I like to do some stretches for the back that include the hip and the shoulder. These are called tablet stretches. You do them a lot for movement work, for theater. So imagine you've got a glass of water or a tablet here in your arms, okay? Sometimes it helps to actually grab something like a box of pills. Come up, here, move it around your head, and bring it around again, okay? So start large, move it around, add your hips in, move everything you can, okay? I want you to do 25 reps. And move as much as you can and bring it in tight here and take it out all the way around. Work those shoulders, loosen them up. Really works the small of the back, okay? So do 25 circles before each circuit just to keep you nice and moving before you go into the heavier workout stuff. Okay, so now that we've done the warm-up, we're going to get into the main fitness part of it. I'm going to first start with tablet stretches to get things loosened up, then push-ups, but we're going to do close-in push-ups on our knuckles, elbows, by our body, hands shoulder width apart. It's closer to what we use for fencing rather than this. We don't throw many cuts like this, but we throw a lot of cuts from here, okay? Then we'll go into bicycle sit-ups. I use those because they work a lot of the twisting action you end up using a lot for your fencing, okay? Then from there, we'll go into squats. Just normal squats, they're nice and important. We're going to do 3 sets of those. When you're doing these exercises, I want you to go to, first do them till you can't do them anymore or it becomes really physically difficult. And then when you do these as a routine, for the first week, go to 50%. Okay, I don't want it to be a huge force of will to get these done. First, get into the habit of going through the entire routine, and then you can start pushing your body. Now, as you do it, make sure you're going on a 4 count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason for that is, on the negative, you work a little bit more your structure, you get a longer plank, and on the up, you get your explosivity. We need to also have structure and static strength once we cut into that body. Next, we work on our core. I like to use what I call bicycle sit-ups. They work like this. Here, elbow to knee, twist, okay? Elbow to knee, twist. Elbow to knee, twist. 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 Touch, twist. Touch, twist. Touch, twist. Touch. For squats, hips underneath you. Now, warning, try and keep your heels on the ground. I have terrible flexibility here. I'm working on that. Okay? Again, 50% of what you're comfortable with. Now, if you've got good knees, good strength, try lunge squats if you're really wanting to push yourself on something. Okay, so those go for the following. Again, important, hips underneath you, shoulders back. Normally I do mainly forward and back and forth along a stretch. If you don't have that much room, we're going to do 1 step forward, 1 step back. So 1, 2, 3. Now down, we're going to check our posture. Go back down again. 1, 2, 3. My back isn't as good as my forward. Switch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One thing you'll notice is I get a little bit of lift on the backwards, trying to work that out of me. What you should be getting is really flat. There shouldn't be any arc to it. It should be from low to high. Try and work on that, okay? Really good for explosiveness. If you're feeling like adding an extra level of complexity to the lunge squats, add a weapon. So, if you're doing passing steps, go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So it's also getting that correct technique of hands before body. Okay? Work section, you've done your fitness stuff. Again, I like to start with something just to warm up and get things moving again as they should be. So we're going to do an exercise I call kayak rows. We're going to come here, short edge, long edge, 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 okay? 25 that side, 25 this side. Okay? You can also do the reverse. Some people find this one easier. okay? But it gets that flexion moving. 25 each side. Now I want to get into ribbon cuts with you. These are good for flexion and twist, blade alignment, strength, core engagement, a whole bunch of things. So all these exercises are feet a little bit more than shoulder width apart, square on. Why? Because I believe that footwork is a privilege that is earned by good hip movement. We can force our hips to move by swinging the foot. But good footwork is driven by the hip pushing. The hip needs to open and allow the foot to go through. If I'm using my hip to swing all the time, it's going to be slow. Okay, so standing here also to allow good hip movement and allow us to follow through. So start here to one side, those nice Renaissance beheading paintings. Cut down, notice, sword in front of my sternum, arms straight. And as you do it, here, it's like shoveling earth. Same thing. No bending, no twisting. I don't want to see any of that stuff. I've seen people disarm themselves in tournament like that. So, shoulders back, up, change the other side, down, check your posture, up, change, down, check your posture, down, check your posture. We will all have tics. Currently I'm working through a shoulder injury, so it's pushing that forward. Also old bad habit of mine, so I'm having to check that every time. Keep an eye on that. I want you to do 25, slow, and then I want you to rest 25 seconds, and then do the last 5 really slow, and watching so that the last 5 reps you do are as good as you can get them. So the last rep you do on an exercise, that is always the one that matters most. Next one I'd like to suggest, what I call offside. I'm going to sound weird, they're my personal interpretations. So we cut an overhand from the right shoulder, we come into left ox. Notice, now I'm square on, or almost. It's as if I've hit a parry. Now I come into ox, and I twist to make sure my structure is aligned with my ox. Okay? I let it come away in a moulinette, and I cut a left overhand. It's as if I've hit a bind or a parry. I twist in. I let it come past my shoulder in a moulinet, and I come here. Again, here, cut, here, cut, here, cut, here, cut, here, cut, 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 okay? Make sure you're ending everything nice and straight. You shouldn't be ending here. Shouldn't be ending here. Make sure your arms are nice and straight, your shoulders are back, your hips are underneath you, okay? If I put my hips forward, I'm aiming into the ground. Put those suckers underneath you and bring your shoulders back. These sequence turn into a lot of things. So this is why I do them. You can make this into a winding, okay? Cut and wind. You can make it into a parry, which can be adjusted to any of the 4 quarters. you can make it into, if you pull it into ox early, you can make it into a feint, okay, or an ablaufen, depending, Meyer's ablaufen. I know. Next one, we're going to do same side, which will make sense if you've seen the offside. So, we cut in right overhaul, and now I'm going, instead of going to the opposite ox, we go to the ox with the quarter we just came to, cut around in a millinade. Ox we just came to, come around a millinade. Ox we just came to, come around a millinade. Again, working our structure, hips underneath us, slightly off center, making sure I've just cut. Now I've come here, readjusting my body. Again, this turns into a lot of things. Cut, auswinden. Cut, parry, cut. Cut, feint, cut. Okay? Again, you can add the footwork later, but this is to earn the footwork with correct. If the crosswise. So we cut. We go to the quarter we just came from, and we cut from the other side. So instead of in the same side, where we come around in a circle and we go to the side we just cut from, here we come around, boom, cut a small one. Go to the quarter we just came from, cut a small one. Go to the quarter we just came from, boom, okay? From hard, bitter experience, being isolated, the thing that you will lose most is reaction. Also distance and timing, but reaction has a lot of that to do. It's about how fast your body picks up on stuff and how fast your fencing brain is running. Solo drills is really hard to get that. It's a reaction to something. The hack I found for it is I listen to podcasts a lot. So what I'll do is I'll choose a letter, and then I'll do a specific sequence every time a word starting with that letter crops up. So if I choose, and it'll be more like a sound rather than a letter, depending on how complicated you want to make it. It can be a t or it can be a t, so it would be the, t, or any sound, the. So, or you do another sequence on a B. So, what I would suggest, find yourselves a nice audiobook, a podcast, a YouTube video. YouTube video might be nice, it's nice and short. Sit there, and you hear a T. On a T, you're going to go for a right overhaul into a left overhaul. Okay? So imagine you cut right overhaul, guy parries, you come around, boom, strike to the other side. Now, on a B, you're going to cut a right overhaul, and then you're going to do something funky. You're going to move your sword, and you're going to bring your foot behind you. This is one of the times that you can use your feet to move your hips. It's a pendulum. Cut here, okay? A lot of people won't expect that. Usually they'll expect you to go to from a right overhaul to the other side, or double trair. But if you're here, now doing it as a right-hander, works just as well, okay?